Break these hoes. I got them shackles off my feet, yeah, yeah. Can't put me back up in them streets, yeah, yeah. I couldn't move, but now I'm free, yeah, yeah. I got them shackles on my feet, yeah, 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 yeah.
Down for me, down for me. People left me, you was brown for me, brown for me. All that bitterness and anger, had to let it go. People talking down on me, I guess that's how it go. Let them know, that's on me, yeah. Shackles on my feet, you broke the hold and now I'm free, yeah. Even in the darkest times, you kept your light on me, yeah. Got the memo, read the message. Found my purpose, found my method. Only L I took was lessons. Tell them. You can pick a side if you wanna. You already know who I roll with. You don't want no problems with me. Get these shackles
on my feet, yeah. They won't let me be. Won't you set me free? Break this on me. Break these hoes. I got them shackles off my feet, yeah, yeah. Can't put me back up in them streets, yeah, yeah. I couldn't move, but now I'm free, yeah, yeah. I got them shackles on my feet, yeah, yeah. I got them shackles off my feet, yeah, yeah. Can't put me back up in them streets, yeah, yeah. I couldn't move, but now I'm free, yeah, yeah. I got them shackles on my feet, yeah, 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 yeah.
I give them signs, but it's like they're at a race. Look to the sky, but it's clouded by the haze. My head under the water, I feel like Nirvana. I'ma make it to the top, I promise my mama. This life feel like a race, I feel like Quintana. I'ma make it to the top, I promise my mama. I'm a grenade, tick, tick, tell them they late. Create a wave, splash, splash, I'm in my lane. Took it some time to realize we are not one and the same. Keep it a bug, lot of y'all do not have it running through your veins. I don't hear what they say, but if it don't make way, 5 minutes on stage, split a minimum wage. And yeah, we living better days, and my hope I never fade. So I don't hear what they say, didn't make way. Swept through my brain, feel like I'm trapped inside of a maze. I give them signs, but it's like they're at a rave. Look to the sky, but it's clouded by the haze. Think I need a little break. My head under the water, I feel like Nirvana. I'ma make it to the top, I promise my mama. This life feel like a race, I feel like Quintana. I'ma make it to the top, I promise my mama.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Are we live?
Baby, we live.
Are we live?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Head That Us family? Are you excited to be back here for Wednesday Conversations? Wednesday Talks?
Bro, you kind of just like mixed it up. You said Wednesday Conversations.
Bro, it is Conversations.
But it is
Period.
Wednesday, and we're
Wednesday
talking.
Conversations.
So it's Wednesday Talks.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Y'all happy to be back another week?
Yes.
I know Elvin last week, he didn't let me know, but he was kind of controlling the live stream last week.
Hey.
And my boy put a little subtitle on there talking about Wednesday Talks.
Hey, y'all already know. Y'all already know. If y'all saw that Wednesday Talks, I took over that live.
So if y'all gonna complain to anybody, y'all can complain to Elvin. At him, let him know in the comments.
Let
it's
me know.
Conversations every Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Let me know, guys.
Are we excited to be back?
Yes, sir.
We got some newbies in the house tonight, and we're excited to see some familiar faces as well. Okay. And then a few of us are not here, but I hope you guys are watching live. We love you guys. Make sure you let us know that your presence is here online in the conversation. Put some emojis in there. Let us know where you're watching from. Are you at work? Are you at Maggiano's? Are you at Amazon? I don't know where you may be at, but let us know where you might be working. I'm not calling out anybody specific, but
Hey, by the way, we got a new sponsor, guys. We're sponsored by Powerade.
We actually do not own any rights to Powerade. Please do not find us. Do not delete our video. We, you know.
Yo, imagine how crazy it would be if we do get a sponsor one day.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you speak it into existence, you know
Hey,
what
man,
I'm
you
saying?
never know, man.
You know, the Lord does his work. So, Elvin, how was your weekend, man? You had any big things going on?
I did, man. It was a lot of big things, fam.
You know,
what
I
I'm
heard
saying?
something specific happened this week in that
Yes,
my boy
Yo.
just looks different today. He looks, you know, just like there's a
Yo.
different thing, a glow about you.
I'm a dad, guys. I'm a dad, guys.
Oom
And guess
papa.
what? And guess what? It's gonna be a boy.
Whoa!
Yes, sir.
We
Yo.
found out that the baby that's coming is gonna be a boy. One of the boys.
Hey, you already know. Look, I mean, look, I wouldn't have mine a girl, but I really wanted a boy so bad. And like, when we did the whole confetti thing, I was like, I was ready to see pink. Okay, I was ready to see pink, and I was like, man, you know, it's gonna be okay. And then when I saw blue, I just lost it.
Now,
I
hold
lost
on.
it.
You got to walk us through the process of faith, man, because I heard you bought a pink shirt. You were wearing that pink shirt. My
Okay,
man was already
so-
convinced, you know, of the news that he was about to receive.
So check this out though. Like on Saturday morning, I was like, oh man, like I gotta go buy a shirt that's like pink and like blue or whatever, because Annalie had this dress that was like pink and blue. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go get one,
Just in
you know,
case.
just in case. So I go over there to Target. I get this shirt. And then it's funny because then I saw this other blue shirt, and I was like, I should wear that blue shirt on there just in case it was a boy. So in my mind, I was just like, maybe I should do that. So that's what I did. And I remember that I told myself, I was like, man, if for some reason I see blue, I'm gonna throw that pink shirt, and I'm gonna be like just jumping everywhere. And dude, that's the first thing I did. So if you guys look at the video on Facebook or if you saw it on IG, you're gonna see that once I saw that blue confetti, I just threw my shirt away. I didn't even know where I was until like I asked Annalie, and she's like, "It's in the closet now, babe."
I don't know if you want to call it faith or not, but my man's had the blue shirt under and the pink on top. Like,
Yes,
he kind of
sir.
had a feeling that he was going to be taking that thing off.
Hey,
So
it was that feeling, man. I'm
shout out
telling
to
you.
the answered prayers. I know my boy was asking for it. Shout out to Annalie.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the baby boy that's coming away. What's the name of the boy?
It's Levi.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Now, where you get Levi from, bro?
I don't know, bro. There's a lot of Levi's in the Bible.
He said, he boy said Levitas.
There's a lot of Levi's in the Bible, bro.
He's going to be a singer. He's going to be a worshiper.
And then, you know, there's another Levi in
Oh, yeah?
in the anime.
What was the higher influence on that?
Attack on Titan.
Was it the book of Leviticus or was it something else?
What? Come on, bro. We at church.
Well, tonight we're going to jump right into what we're talking about. I hope you guys were a part of last week's experience. We did a little bit of a worship session, and it was super awesome. Like, we haven't worshiped at all during this summer series. It's been a little different. It's been a lot of talks, challenges, and fun stuff. But last week it was a little fun to be able to just sing together. We had Annalie, Myra, Patty on stage, and we sang some songs, and we talked about worship and the life of a worshiper. We found out that Patty was a drummer, and that she used to hit them sticks. You know what I'm saying?
When she said she was a drummer, I was thinking about William, bro. I was like, man, William, but he's about to get replaced.
Oh,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
You know what? We're just going to have to do some type of like drum off and have Patty and William just come out here and hash it out. And then whoever wins is going to be the official drummer of Casa de Fe. What do y'all think?
Usually Williams is always active over
Somebody,
here, man.
somebody at William, let him know that someone's coming for his position.
At him because he's always active. Oh, I think he is watching. Yeah, he is watching. It said William Hernandez is watching.
We coming for you, William. I mean, well, not us technically. We're just gonna be the ones hyping it up. But Patty's
Yeah.
coming for you.
We're
She's
just gonna instigate
She's gonna
everything.
She's gonna take that position, you know. And I don't know. She looks like she could probably play, man. I never really thought about Patty being a drummer, but you know, from what I've seen, I'm okay. She gets kind of mad, you know, and I could see her, you know, putting that anger into the drums and going off, you know.
I
doing
don't
that
know,
little-
bro. I don't know if you should say that on camera.
Don't worry. It's okay. We know that you know, God gave you a gift. It's okay. But we're super excited because last week was awesome. But this week we're jumping into talking about influences and influencers.
Oof.
When you hear the word influencers, what do you think?
To be honest, bro, I think a lot about like social media, YouTube, especially
YouTube?
YouTube, bro. A lot of YouTube.
What's one of the top names that come to your mind when you think about an influencer?
Influencers. I mean, to be honest, man, I haven't kept up with YouTube a lot lately. I used to like watching some older YouTubers, some of the OGs in the game, but you know, unfortunately, they're not really. There's some that's still grinding, but there's some that I guess, you know, just kind of I guess they reached that top fame, and you know, older people came up, and I feel like whenever
they got comfortable, they're not posting as much, putting as much content out.
Yeah, man. So
they got all the money.
It's kind of crazy. I think one of the big names that I can think about vlogging wise could be Casey Neistat. He's always very respected in the YouTube community and all that stuff. David Dobrik, he does all those little 4-minute videos or whatever, even though he's been in controversy or whatever. But I feel like a lot of those influencers, man, it's like they have to keep innovating themselves, and so people can follow them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to keep it fresh, especially for the ones who post daily. They're always on top of it, and then at some point you're like, I don't know what other content to make. And then you see people doing like all types of channels. Now you got makeup channels, and I know like a lot of us here follow different type of material. Whether you watch gaming content or makeup content or you know, unboxing this, unboxing that, travel and all this stuff. Basically living through the experiences of these influencers, basically.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, and it's really cool that, you know, you can have different categories that you can try to watch all these videos. There was actually two YouTubers I used to watch a lot. It was Prank vs. Prank, Jesse and Gina, but I guess they got burned out with so many videos that they did. It was a couple. Yeah. And they always make fun of these YouTube couples because they are making daily videos, and at times that kind of makes a little bit of effect in their relationship. And then
put
you
it on
see
blast.
And then you see all these and it's crazy because then you see all these videos coming up why we are separated or we broken up, and then like they have to explain it to their fan base and all that stuff.
So when that happens, do you guys follow the person, both of them, when they break up and make separate channels? You follow the one you're loyal to?
No, I think they just it sucks, man, because when they broke up and all that stuff, like people start watching them. Nobody really watches them anymore.
Somebody else comes to take the limelight.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I got a list of the top 10 followers, and I want you guys, if you guys have your, if you're watching the live stream, to put in the comments, or if you're here, you can raise your hand or something and say if this is somebody that you follow. These are the top 10 social media influencers that have the most followers. Number one, I was surprised about this one. This is across all platforms, accumulated with all their followers. Number one is Cristiano Ronaldo. Did you know that?
Whoa.
He has 517 million followers across Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. That's believable?
Yeah, I can see why.
He's a soccer superstar?
Yeah, a lot of people like him.
Y'all following Cristiano?
I personally don't really like him. I don't really like Messi.
See, but the thing is, you don't have to like them to follow them. Sometimes you just gotta be nosy. Where he at? What he doing? What his stories look like? Number two is Justin Bieber. 455 million followers across Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
The Biebs.
He has 455 million followers overall.
Wow.
Number three is Ariana Grande. 429 million followers, and she has that across Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Next one is Selena Gomez. It sounds like everybody's following Selena Gomez in here. I follow her too.
I do not follow any of these people, to be honest.
She has 425 million followers across all platforms. The next one is Taylor Swift.
What?
Taylor Swift. Do you guys follow Taylor Swift? She has 361 million followers.
Taylor Swift.
Next one, and I know I follow this guy. His name is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
42 million followers across all platforms.
La Roca.
The next one is Katy Perry. I don't follow Katy Perry.
Oh, no.
338 million followers. Now, I know the majority of y'all probably follow this girl, and she was at one point the top followers on Instagram.
Who is this?
Kylie Jenner, 333 million followers. No, across all platforms. Number 9 is Rihanna, 332 million followers. And then another Kardashian makes the board at number 10, and that is Kim Kardashian with 319 million followers.
Dang.
Now, that's pretty crazy to think about how many people are watching every single move that you make and how many people are updated with, your posts. You post a picture, you post a story, you post a video. All of a sudden, you have, a population that's bigger than the United States who's viewing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. That's pretty crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of pressure. Imagine if you post a photo and like people are like starting to hate on you, and
I've seen like sometimes where you're watching content and you see sometimes somebody post a picture of a dog, and all of a sudden you have like 10 comments of people saying, "Oh, I love that dog, it's so cute," and you got like a 2 or 3 trolls in there that all of a sudden are saying that dog is ugly, that dog has a weird eye or something, it has a lazy eye, and all of a sudden they're making jokes about the picture or the content that's being posted. Right now, I don't know if you've heard, but Jeff Bezos, my man, Amazon owner, he just went to space. Y'all heard about that? Y'all heard about that?
You heard about that?
It costs, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars, but basically billions, is it?
Billions.
That's crazy. My man
Billions.
paid all this money to go to not space. My man's launched off and went to the highest part of Earth that you could possibly go, and basically was there for like a few minutes or something, and then came right back down. But he never technically left Earth's orbit or the atmosphere or something. He was just in the area where you can start seeing things go around, and basically you can start to float, but you're still technically part of Earth.
But dude, imagine that, like, you're able to experience that, and you're not even like working for NASA or anything.
It says he did no training, he did no studying, he did none of that process. That astronauts have to go to, those whole things where they're spinning in a ball, going back and forth, and having to test their reflexes to make sure they're not getting nauseous and stuff. Well, he did this all quick. And all of a sudden, he's in space, and people were just like upset about it. They're like, "You spent way too much money. You could have cured hunger. You could have done all these things." And people actually signed a petition. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but 150,000 people signed a petition to not let Jeff Bezos come back to Earth. They wanted him to just roam in space and fly. They did not want him to come back. They said, "You have way too much money to handle and do with. Just stay up there. We don't need you down here on Earth."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I can understand why people are upset, but I mean, the guy has worked hard to get to where he's at, Yeah. If he wants to go to space, let him go to space.
Well, and that's the thing where we're going back to is about influencers, right? You're in the spotlight of the public, of the people who are following you, the people who are witnessing you, seeing you, and all of a sudden, everyone's going to form an opinion, right? Yeah. Whether you're doing something good, you're doing something bad, whether you feel like you're doing something good, other people may not agree. And then all of a sudden, they have an opinion that's formed about you. And you're put under that pressure to either meet their expectations or you don't. And then you're gonna hear about it, basically.
Oh yeah, dude. I think whenever you really put yourself out there, we will always hope to be, has some positive feedback. I think that's always like the goal. But then, you always gotta get ready for some negative stuff happening. Like for an example, like us, right? Like we're supposed to go out there and preach the gospel, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to go out there and make disciples, but there's gonna be times where maybe you're gonna want to speak to somebody about God, or maybe there's a conversation that maybe you didn't even want to talk about God, and you just kind of were dragged in the conversation.
The Holy Spirit put it in my heart.
It's just crazy how that works at times, man. But then you're put into scenarios where you're gonna have to defend the gospel, or you have to say something, and then you get into this conversation with somebody, and maybe they're not gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna look at you like, that's not right, because maybe at times to them or to the people out there in the world, they feel like we're very close-minded people. So I don't know, man. It feels like in a way the church is also put in a spotlight, because it's like you're gonna have positive feedback from the people that come to church and really want to praise and decide to give their lives to God. But you're also gonna have that other feedback saying, "What are you guys doing?" You know, church is, you know, they try to look at the negative things about it, and they're going to make a big deal about it.
I think that's really interesting, and that's where we're actually heading to next, because a lot of times we think about influencers, right? And we think about these big names, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Will Smith.
Rock.
You think about these big celebrities and these actors who are doing all these things. You think like, oh yeah, they're influencers. They deserve that pressure. You know, they have a big responsibility. But sometimes you don't realize that you can influence in your circles where you may be. And it may be whether it's your walk where you're in school or whether you're at work or something, but you're an influencer where you are because of your faith and because what the calling of God has put over you. I got the definition here. And what is an influencer? Is a person that or thing that influences another. But in marketing, what an influencer is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service, or by recommending or promoting items through social platforms like Instagram, like Facebook. So basically, they are told about this new service, this new product, and all of a sudden they're supposed to feed it to the people who follow them and recommend why they should use this thing or this product. And so in the same way, a lot of times we become that ambassador of our faith. Now when we're walking, people see like, hey, yo, Elvin, why you always smiling? Why you always in a good mood? All of a sudden, you are representing of what you believe in. What is it that keeps you happy, that puts joy in your life, that puts peace in your life? And you have to be able to express yourself so that you can influence others. Because at the same time, if you can't, then sometimes you can be influenced as well.
No, yeah, dude, I completely agree with you, because something kind of happened to me one time when I used to work at this one body shop, Classic Collision in Boca. Whoa.
We throwing names today.
We're throwing names. No, I remember I was working at this one shop, and you know, it's just crazy. It's crazy how things are, guys. And it's so true. You need to watch out and the way that you conduct yourself always, because believe it or not, people are gonna be watching you, especially
somebody's watching.
Especially if you tell somebody that you go to church. They're going to be looking at you, even though they're not gonna make it noticeable.
They're trying to find you on your bad day.
So
when you didn't wake up on the right side of the bed.
I was working in this shop, guys, and you know the people there, they were very vulgar and all. They were fun people. They were really nice, good people that helped me out, and they were really nice to me. You know, I have nothing bad to say. But you know, as Christians, we also have to understand that there's certain things that we don't follow the world.
You live your life differently.
Exactly. And this is where you have to either influence or you're going to be influenced to do something that you're not supposed to do.
Ooh.
So I remember that these guys that I was working with, man, they'll be cussing, they'll be doing all this stuff, it's crazy. So I remember one of the guys told me, man, how come I just never hear your curse, bro? And I was like, I don't need to do that, man. Why you want me to say it? And I was like, say something. And he was like pushing me. He was like, say something, bro. Just say something. And then I told him, oh, no, I go to church and I do this. And you know, they were just asking me all these questions. Like, they were just so shocked. They were so shocked, like, oh, you don't go and drink. You don't go and like smoke something. Like, how do you have fun?
It's like, nah, fam.
Yeah, it's so crazy how people think that's the top of the top. Like, that's how you have fun. That's how you have a good time. And I'm just like, man, I have a good time always, man. I'm always happy. I'm always feeling good, you know? And it's crazy because I remember that the way that I conducted myself was I always was very careful on what I said to these people, because I felt like, you know, I was representing Casa de Fe in a way. And I'm not lying to you guys.
The church.
One time, we were in Mostaza. Okay, if you guys know Mostaza, that's the theology institute that we have here at church. And Pastor made a comment, because there was another guy that used to work there that came to the church at that time. And I remember that they saw Pastor, and then they were like, hey, you know that kid Elvin that goes to your church? He's a good kid. And they were just saying good things about me, and I was just like, oh my God. And Pastor said it in front of everybody in the class, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that happened. And I wasn't even thinking that was going to happen, but it's just, that's the impact that you have when you're a believer, when you're a Christian.
Yeah.
that's the impact that you provide to people. People are watching you, even if they don't, if they act like they're not really watching you.
Yeah.
They got their eyes on you, man.
They don't care, but they're following.
Yeah, dude.
They're they don't hit
creeping
the
on you.
like button, but they follow you. They know. They watch your stories.
They watch the stories. They don't put hearts on the stories.
You
They
know,
don't put a thumbs
when
up
you
on
got
those
when you got like
photos.
1,300 followers, but you only get 60 likes. You know they're watching.
They're watching,
They're
but
upping
they're not
your they
doing
upping
anything.
your comments. They up looking at everything you're doing. They just ain't hitting that like.
No, man, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy how, in a way, God puts you in those scenarios so you can see, like, you know, you follow, you're being obedient. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect guy because I mess up too, but you know, you put in that effort, and I think it's all about that effort that you can put. And I think you're going to feel really good about yourself once it's done, because you know, then you're gonna be like, it was worth it. You know, it was worth it that other people were able to see, like, you know, they're in church. There isn't just people that are selfish or people that are crazy or whatever, you know. So I don't know, man. That was something that I really enjoyed.
I think that's awesome because a lot of times we think about it in a different way, where we think, oh, well, I'm an influencer when I become a pastor. I'm an influencer when I'm in the worship team. I'm an influencer when I'm doing Wednesday talks and I'm hosting or something. But then all of a sudden you don't realize that there's a lot of people who look at you, and when you tell them, hey, this is what I do, this is what I believe in, it's like, hey, why don't you come hang out with us Wednesday night? We're gonna go do this. We're gonna do like, oh no, I got GU night. I got something else to do. I got something else somewhere else to be. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, you're different, but are you really different? And they start kind of watching your behaviors, because I know I've been in the same position where sometimes, whether it's coworkers or my bosses or things, they'll look at me and be like, oh, you go to church and you're involved in church? Why? Why? You're young. Like, go live your life. Go enjoy yourself.
That's crazy,
I tell
man.
people, like, I'm married. I'm 26 and
What?
I'm married. And it's like, what are
You're
you doing?
married? Oh my gosh,
They're
you're
like, that
like-
was a huge mistake. What is your problem?
Yeah,
and I'm just
dude.
like, no, just because you grew to learn a certain way, a certain style, you know, and maybe you've gone through different things, you know, it doesn't mean that has to be my story. And it doesn't mean that I can't do it the way that God is calling me to do it. And I can be happy, I can be joyful in that. And then people ask you, it's like, why? Well, you're different. You know, my son, and I get that a lot. I don't know why people want to compare me to their sons, but whenever you get like the older coworker who's like 45 and 50, he's like, my son's your age. He's 23 and he doesn't do anything. I'm just like, oh, well, you know, a lot of times we can either be that person who gets influence and says, hey, I'm just watching what everybody else is doing. I'm living curiously through other people's eyes. I'm living, you know, I watch all these people travel, and I watch all these people make, you know, these moves and do these things and go to school and do all these awesome things. But I myself stay right here. Stay put where it's comfortable. Stay put where no one else can see me. Or you can allow yourself to say, you know what, forget that. I'm going to be an influencer in what I do and the choices that I make. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make some moves. I'm going to do things that are maybe not normal for my age. I'm going to do things that, you know, maybe my parents didn't do, but I'm going to do for myself and make that jump, make that leap. Not let yourself be limited to what you see around you or what other people your age may be doing.
Oh yeah, man. I think it's always about, in a way, pushing yourself to be different and not like for you to be antisocial and not be part of, you know, with your friends and stuff. But I think you have to know where you have to draw a line and say, I'm not gonna cross that line, because if I cross the line, this is gonna slow me down to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I think we struggle a lot, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, when I was going to school, and I had a lot of friends in school that, you know, I was hanging out with, I was doing things with, and I feel like I had to learn how to draw a line and say, you know what, if I want to stop, you know, doing certain things that are not right, I need to get away from that crowd a little bit. I'm not gonna, like, you know, automatically tell them like, hey man, I'm not gonna talk to you because you're bad or something. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna say that, but you have to let them know, like, you know, we have to draw a line.
Because even with the definition that we just exposed, influences aren't just people, right? Influences can be things. It can be what you watch, what you listen to, what you surround yourself with. And all of a sudden, those things are going to be reflected in your life, because that's what's feeding you. So in a lot of times where we find ourselves where, hey, I'm comparing myself to a lot of people. And I'll give you guys an example for the girls here. How many of you guys started buying Shein because you saw it online first? Instagram, right? They say we don't want to expose ourselves. How many of you guys bought something off of maybe Fashion Nova or something because you saw it online? How many of you guys, bought something off of Amazon because you saw it online? Because all of a sudden, that's what your feed is on. That's what you're seeing daily. And all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know why I need 5 LED strips, but I'm going to buy them because I'm just going to put them around my house because they look cool. And you see them on your feed, and all of a sudden, Mark Zuckerberg heard you, and he's putting it on your feed as well, and you talk about it, and now it's on your feed. And so all of a sudden, after seeing it so much, you decide to do it. You decide to buy it. You decide to put it in your life. And it works across the board with all things. What you're watching, what you're listening to, who you're surrounding yourself, what is it positive, negative, what is it that you're surrounding yourself with, and how does it influence you?
Oh, yeah, dude, I completely agree with all that. I think it's just really important what we feed ourselves. At times, it's just like whenever, let's say if you want to start going to the gym, right? I think that's one of the examples that everybody kind of puts, like going to the gym or whatever. But
how many of y'all follow the bodybuilders and like the people who work out
yeah,
daily,
dude.
post their routines and their nutrient things, but y'all never do it? It's like,
I know, man.
It's like I follow some people who are shredded, who are like ripped and got all these like muscles and abs and everything, and I'm just
they
like,
make it sound so easy, like for
I'm
you
gonna
to do
follow
all
this.
that.
I'm gonna go buy this protein. I'm gonna start going to the gym at this time. I'm gonna put my alarms, and then all of a sudden you're looking around just like, yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
No, I know, dude. It's crazy, man. It's funny how you say that because I don't know, back in the day, they actually took away this ad because it was very controversial, I think, in the end. But Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they had a little thing where like if you spray, then all the girls were gonna like speak to you and like you were gonna be so popular and all that. And I remember one time I was like, man, I gotta go buy one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
everybody's
man,
wearing Axe. I gotta wear it too.
I have to go get some Axe and put some on. But it's just crazy how things, something so small like a little body spray.
Yeah.
How that can influence you to think, oh, now that I have this, I'm gonna get attention.
Even the choices that you make, like, oh, if this YouTuber, if that kid Ryan is opening up toys and making $24 million a month, then why am I gonna go to college? I'm gonna go do something else.
Why am I gonna go to work?
Let
me unbox toys real quick.
All of a sudden, you're starting to think about, well, why am I gonna go do that when what I'm looking at makes a lot more sense? And my man's has a whole TV show.
Dude, there's people that like are YouTubers, but they're YouTubers and they do gaming, but like phone games.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man.
So now you don't even need a PC. You don't even need a console.
Like,
You're
they're
just
not even
downloading
using like
Candy
their PS4
Candy
like
Crush, and you out there live streaming Candy Crush.
Man. Like the Clash Royale, they have tournaments and like they be doing all this stuff. I'm like, man, like it looks good. It gets your attention, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah, and then also you got to realize that's one in how many millions and millions of people who are doing it. So remember, influences are huge, and what you allow to be noise in your life can also affect the decisions you make, the things that you do, the way you conduct yourself, the way you think about yourself, and the choices that you make coming forward. So,
but there's also good influencers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You
want
want to drop some names?
Actually,
He said Jesus.
Jesus. No, I mean Jesus, of course.
He said, "A casa de fe GA."
Jesus is a
I generación unida GA. Okay.
Okay. No, there was one guy that I saw his story, and this is when I was doing like the cross country stuff at school, and this is where I was kind of getting into it a little bit more. But I think there was a movie that I saw from this guy called his name was Steve Fontaine. He was really big in the 70s, and he was actually one that fought for track athletes to get at least some type of payment, because back in the day, if you did track and you did all these sports that were not football, basketball, baseball, you didn't get paid for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It had to come out of your pocket or go to another state to run a meet. If you were getting ready for the Olympics, they never really paid for all that stuff.
Yeah.
It came out of you, and then it's crazy because you worked all your life to get to a point where you are going to the Olympics and going against the best of the other, best of the other countries, and you weren't getting paid for anything like that. So this guy actually fought for that, and he was a very cocky guy though. He was super cocky. He tried football, he tried baseball, and he was too short.
Yeah.
So he couldn't. So people always like doubted him.
It's the last option.
And then he ended up running. And this guy, he became one of the best back in the 70s. He was one of the best distant runners like ever. And he was young too. And he was so cocky that he called out all the other runners in the Olympics, saying, "You guys got to keep up with me because I'm gonna be in the front leading." And he was that cocky.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I kind of got to him in the end. He didn't really win a gold medal. He came fourth, and I was so sad. It always gets me because
That's still top 5, man.
It's top 5, but I mean, he wanted to get that gold medal, but that guy, he actually got me like more involved to running because I liked his story. I follow what he did, and I was just like, man, this guy, he worked hard to get to where he was
I think
at.
that's super big because what we're talking about tonight is not that influencers are a bad thing, but it's just remind yourself of what you allow to influence you. What is it that you have on your feeds, on your stories, on your daily, slides or whatever it might be? Because a lot of times you're gonna find yourself, there's a lot of people out there. Like I myself follow a lot of pastors. I'll follow like Michael Todd, and I'll watch his little clips from Sunday services. I'll watch, my guys from all over and just kind of see their stories. And there's actually a guy that I watch. His name is Amen Alex, and he's really awesome with how he breaks down devotionals. And he talked about social media being a form of mental junk food. And when I thought about it like that and I watched it, I'm just like, wow, that makes a whole lot of sense, because it's just like sometimes we go to TikTok, we go to Instagram Reels, we'll go to YouTube, and we'll sit there for like an hour and just knock out some videos. We'll start watching the funny ones, and then all of a sudden they'll recommend you to some like crazy ones and some like building ones, and then you're just like going up and down through all this. And it's just like a method of being distracted or being entertained in a way. But it's also junk food. And just like when you're eating junk food in real life, you can only have so much junk food before you start throwing up, before you start feeling kind of sick, where you start feeling kind of like weird, and you have to kind of start going back to those good snacks that, really are beneficial for you.
Yeah.
So it's the same way with our feeds, is that if you're only watching, prank videos and watching people get,
it's just a prank, bro,
or the fails, or watching people get hurt and stuff like that, but you don't watch anything else, then at the same time, you're not going to have anything that's going to be inspiring you or feeding your dreams or anything like that.
No, yeah, man. I think it's funny because even like on YouTube, there was times that I would be like on it, and out of nowhere you just get like this crazy video, and then you click on it, and then it shows you all these other crazy videos. And
recommended play next. And then they add like the auto feature where it just keeps going.
And then eventually you start, it's like 2 in the morning, and you're like watching those guys building the houses over there, man, or building pools and stuff.
Pools.
There's something that, dude, it's kind of embarrassing. Well, I don't care, but it was.
Let him know, bro.
Yeah, dude, I don't care. I don't know, for some reason, when I see horseshoeing videos.
Horseshoeing?
Yeah, like whenever they grab the little horseshoe thing and they're like scraping and cleaning it, it feels good. I don't know why, man. It just feels like, man, that guy's like getting treated like really good. It's like a little spa.
Your feet look a little different than mine, man, but
I don't know. No, it's crazy because I don't know where it popped up one time, and I was like, I wonder how they like do that. And I clicked on it, and I mean, they're cutting all the old skin. And they don't feel anything when they're cutting it.
Yeah.
And it just makes it like the end result. It's like, I mean, it's like all muddy and all like dead skin.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it's like all like shiny and like nice. So
satisfying.
Smooth. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It makes you feel happy for the horse.
So today's question is, what are you allowing to influence you? What does your feed look like? Are you an influencer? Or are you being influenced? Tonight, we're going to bring on stage a special guest for tonight.
Who could it be?
She is a influencer in her own way, and we're going to bring her on stage so you guys can meet her. Her name is Gracie.
Where? From Sanford, Florida.
Florida. We're going to bring her on stage, and we're going to hear a little bit about what her heart is and how she does her thing. Hey, hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Let the world know, the millions viewers all over the globe here.
Oh, million. My bad.
Let them know who we speaking to, where you from, where you
Well-
where. No, let them know. You dropped the facts, girl.
Okay. Well, my name's Grace. I am the niece of their wives. Okay.
My boo thing, Anais. Y'all know who she is.
I live in Florida. I'm originally from Miami, but I live in
Okay,
Florida. In
305?
Central Florida now.
She in Sanford now,
Yeah,
though.
so
Okay.
Last night, we were just all together at the dinner table, congregating,
Yeah.
just talking. And he was like, "Can you talk tomorrow at Casa de Fe?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah." And then I didn't know I'd be the only one, but I guess it's okay.
But we want to hear a little bit about you, and we want to hear a little bit about what God's doing in your life. So we know that you're still in school, but you're also working a little bit. And how is that process of now, like jumping from being in school full time to kind of doing both and doing your own thing and starting that walk of adulthood, to say?
Well, yeah, oof. Well, I graduated in 2020, if you can even call that graduating.
Yeah.
But
Was it virtual? Did you have to do the whole like ceremony online and
yeah,
stuff?
she was virtual. No prom, no nothing. But sad face. But I started working with my dad part-time when I was like still in high school. And, I would just go. He was like, "Oh, you're going to be my social media coordinator." And I was like, okay.
That sounds
And
fancy.
yeah, it was for a little bit. And then I started doing other things that he needed more. So I was like, this isn't in my job
All the paperwork.
description.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, and then I stopped for a little while because, you get busy.
Yeah.
And then when my sister got a new job, because my sister also worked for my dad, I was like, okay, Grace, you got to step up. So
It's time.
she trained me. I took her job. It's a lot of work. And I would go with him at 9 in the morning to 4. And, then I was in college at the time, and it was completely online. So, you do that. You try to manage it. My grades are not the best. Not what they could be,
I
but they
hear
were
you.
okay. I was passing. So, yeah, now I work. I'm not doing summer classes. I'm going to go back in the fall. But
Got a little bit of a break.
yeah, I got a little bit of a break. I'm here in Georgia, so
Okay.
not really
It's
working.
time to relax. Cell phones off. Do not disturb. It's vacation time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get calls though, and I'm like, the office? No thanks.
There's a voicemail for that, so don't worry about it.
And I recognize the numbers too, so it says voicemail from 419. I'm like, him again?
Yeah. You can wait till we get back. It's okay. So we hear that you're kind of going into this journey, and what are you in second, third semester of college? You're jumping into your second, third. Ooh.
I started right when school ended. I did summer.
Oh, so she
fall,
grinding.
Spring, yeah.
So
little bit.
let's talk about a little bit of that. We're talking about influencers and what kind of sets your goals for you to jump into school and to kind of do that work to achieve the things that you want to do.
Well, to be honest, I was kind of just thrown into a very academically advanced school career, So I went into a forensics academy when I was a freshman. Because, I like that stuff. I was like, oh, I want to be forensics. I
Okay.
like criminal minds.
I've seen the documentaries.
Yeah, so then, with that program, you had to be in an AP class. And then I had a very good teacher. And so he was like, oh, every year you should add an AP class. So by your senior year, you should be having 4. And I was like, okay.
4?
Yeah, so I took his advice. And
Okay.
I did a lot. And now I don't have to do, like, a whole year
So you
of
far
college.
ahead. Gotcha.
Yeah, and you pass them. So in that school, they made the classes harder than the tests. So the tests were easier than the actual class. So you pass them, and then I don't have to do a lot of college now. So I always just took advice that the teachers gave us. A lot of people, they just took what they needed to take for the program. But I've always been a person to take advice from people. So that teacher, I respected him. I really liked him. And he was like, this is going to be really good for you. And I was like, well, why? I always want to know why.
You got to ask the
You
questions.
have to ask questions.
I
And-
hear you, but you better give me an explanation why
yeah,
you're saying
and,
that.
I learned a long time ago, because I was also very involved in church, that a good leader tells you why he's
Yeah.
doing something. Because,
Ooh.
you don't want your people to be blindly led. You want them to know why you're doing something. So I would always ask why. So I was like, yeah, Mr. Hayduck, that sounds horrible, but why? Why do you want me to take so many classes? And he was like, well, if you pass them, you don't have to take them in college. You know, I know you don't like history, so you don't have to take history in college.
Knock out the easy ones here now.
So now I'm only taking a bunch of English classes, which I like anyway, so it's fine.
Well, that's awesome. I think that's huge because a lot of times, you know, there's going to be a lot of people who think they know more, who think they have the right advice, who think they know how to go to school, what you should do, what times you should do it, where you should go, and they start giving you like all this spill about what makes sense for you. And sometimes, you know, we want to be like, oh, well, they told me I should be influenced. I should be listening to everybody. And then all of a sudden you just get confused because somebody tells you one thing, somebody else tells you other thing. How did you like keep your north and kind of know, hey, this makes sense for me, this kind of doesn't. This makes sense for me, and I'm going to choose this way to go.
Well, I was really, really, really involved in church. I honestly didn't have a lot of friends in school, in high school, because when I became a freshman, I didn't know that being a Christian wasn't cool. And so apparently it wasn't, especially in Miami.
They left that part out when you signed up?
I know, that wasn't on the contract when I signed up.
Just say, you accept? Yes. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you actually have to read the Bible to figure that one out. But I grew up in church, and I always experienced God, and you know, I grew up in a household where God was very prevalent, and he was always there, so I always knew he was there. I always knew he loved me. And I think the summer before I got into high school, I got baptized at a camp.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, this is like, he actually loves me. And I learned that about my spiritual gifts, and I was like, okay, he gave this to me, and I was starting to like have a personal relationship with him and like finding my identity in Christ. And so honestly, that's pretty early on. I was like, 12. Yeah. But so then I went into freshman year, and I was openly Christian because why not? And then
I got something to be proud of.
Yeah, and then it was Miami, so people were like, you're a Christian? And I was like, yes. And they're like, why? And I was like, well, why not? So then I started, I was very prideful, and it served me well, but I was prideful in Jesus.
Yeah.
So I guess that was fine. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to answer your questions. So I decided to actually do some research. I found this app called Got Questions. So if somebody asked me a question I didn't know, I'd be like, let me find out for you right now. So I'd pull it out and be like, this is what the Bible says.
Handy dandy.
Yeah, so it ended up being like people around my desk asking me, like, why are you Christian and stuff? Ooh. And then when this one girl, she like asked me, she just had it out for me because she was
the haters.
Yeah, she was gay, and she thought that I hated her because like inherently. And I was like, no, I'm actually like good friends with your girlfriend, but okay. And so she asked me a question I couldn't answer, so I pulled out the handy dandy app, and she goes, oh, so God has an email now? And I went, no girl, I wish. I wish he did. But yeah, I just didn't have many friends, you know. They're doing things I don't want to do. So to answer your question, to keep myself like focused like academically on like things that were important, I had a lot more friends in church.
That's awesome.
And I was focused on like serving in church, and I was friends with leaders because not a lot of kids my age went to church. Yeah. So I was always friends with older people that were experienced, like people your age, and like.
Ooh, she made me seem old. She say your age. Man, know. I feel like I got gray hairs and everything right now.
Yeah, I was friends with the elders of the church.
She said the ancianos. Cool, oh Lord. No, well,
so they helped me keep my eyes focused.
That's awesome, because a lot of times, you know, under that pressure, and I know even in my own experiences, sometimes under that pressure, you just sometimes don't even want to go through the whole spiel. You're just like, you don't even really care. You don't even really know. You're just talking smack. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and defend and do all this stuff, because at the end of the day, you're not really trying to learn. You're just kind of trying to hate. And sometimes,
they're trying to catch you.
You're trying to you're just like, I'm not going to waste my energy. And sometimes we build up these defenses. It's just like, you know what? I'm not even going to jump into that conversation. I respect you. You do you. And we kind of shy away from it. But it's awesome to see, like, hey, you know, you were out there and you was like, oh, you want to talk? Let's talk. You want to have
fine being hated.
It's like, you want to have that conversation? Let's have that conversation. So we're talking a little bit about influencers. I don't know if you followed any of the people that we said, the top 10 people.
Probably like 2 of them.
Like 2 of them. I mean, you know, they have followers for a reason, right?
I follow Selena Gomez. It's fine.
Okay. She's like Christian, right?
She is a Christian, so I guess it counts.
But that's really awesome. Is there anything that you do as far as like influencers that you follow on social media that really help you out? Like, you know, I have a lot of pastors and things that I follow. Who are your go-tos?
Well, I don't really follow a lot of pastors because I did at one point, and then everything I saw on my feed was just sermons. And, you know, I like to see funny videos. So on TikTok, I kind of deleted it and re-downloaded
Some
it.
algorithms, you know?
Yeah, I kind of changed my algorithm, so I was off Christian TikTok. But my favorite TikToker, she's a Christian, and I followed her before she, you know, had her kids and became like a family channel. But she would always post like, oh, this is the book I'm reading, and I would love to watch her videos. Her name is Milena Ciciotti.
Okay.
Yeah, and now she posts videos like what she does with her kids now. And she puts her daughter in the mirror every day, and she goes, Jesus loves you. And she goes, Jesus loves me. And she just posted a video the other day of her daughter praying over her belly because she wasn't feeling well. And that's so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I follow more like female Christians that are empowering. And, you know, I follow those godly dating accounts. You know?
they be making them posts every day and stuff,
yeah,
you know.
And they're like, wait for the one, you know your worth in Christ. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Well, that's awesome. Yo, can y'all give a round of applause to Grace? Thank you for sharing with us. And we really love to see that, you know, knowing that sometimes you're going to have so many influences around you, but it's more about what's in here. What has God deposited in your heart? What has he said over you? And knowing that, you know what, stay true to yourself. It don't matter what all the people, don't matter what the haters, what everyone else is going to say. Stay true to what God has put inside of you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Alvin.
Does that grow Grace? Okay.
Okay. Yo, we're super excited, and we got a little game we're going to play today.
A game?
You know, we're going to test some of y'all out because apparently, you know, some of us here are influencers, but some of us are influenced. So we want to kind of find out whether you know your stuff.
Y'all know your stuff?
Damn,
no,
man.
what?
Nobody
Who
sounds
said?
like convinced. I see some people like just like,
All right.
what is about to happen?
Do y'all know your stuff?
Do y'all know y'all Jesus?
Y'all Jesus?
Okay, y'all a little bit more convinced about that? Okay. Well, we're going to find out today, right?
I guess so.
We going to play a little game that's called... Do you got it? Jesus or Yeezus?
Jesus. Whoa. What's
We
going
have
on here?
12 quotes today, and we want you guys to identify whether it's Mr. Kanye West or Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Oof.
Now, I know you guys think you guys know your stuff, so I hope it sounds that convincing. So, I want to hear everybody's opinion. If you got your phones out, comment. Don't look up the quotes. If y'all look up the quotes, we're going to snatch some phones.
Yes.
But
No
if you guys
phones.
are on the live stream, let us know who you think it is. And we're going to jump into question number 1. Elvin, can you read us question number 1?
Question number 1. The only thing I want to do in life is help people.
Who y'all think it is?
Who said that?
Nah, but say it with some, you know, say it with your chest.
All right. This side.
Yeezy. Who y'all think it is?
Jesus? Oh my God.
Let's find out.
What the heck?
Kanye West. Next question. I am like a tree. I feed the branches of the people. Was this
Ooh.
Jesus or was this Yeezus?
We'll give you a couple of seconds.
Y'all debating?
Jesus? Jesus.
Jesus?
Why? Because it says branches.
He said, I
Because
think I
it's
heard that in the
trees.
Bible.
There's something about branches and trees in the Bible. And then Roots Camp. You know what I'm saying?
Let's find out that answer. Jesus! What? I am ashamed. I saw some leaders say Kanye West.
Kanye West said that.
Next question. Elvin, what does that say?
All right. Healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do.
Ooh. Yeezus or Jesus?
Just say Kanye. Jesus, okay? Somebody say Jesus. All right, this side of the room. What do you... Oh.
Jesus.
Hey, Christian said it right.
All right. What's the next one? You should only believe about 90% of what I say. As a matter of fact, don't even believe anything that I'm saying at all. Who was that? I don't know. Y'all weren't so convincing last time.
Jesus.
Y'all say Kanye? It was Jesus. What's that next one?
All right. Keep your nose out of the sky. Keep your heart to God, and keep your face to the racing sun.
Jesus? We're kind of like 50-50 here,
I know,
bro.
everybody's just kind of like...
We're kind of 50-50, bro.
50-50. So these people say Kanye right here, and then you guys say Jesus?
What's that answer? Right. Jesus! Jesus! Y'all didn't realize how many quotes this guy has, huh? What's the next one, Elvin? This one's easy. Come on now.
Those who use the sword will die by the sword.
I don't know. I think I heard that in one of Kanye's songs. Something about dying by the sword. I don't know. I think I heard it.
In the new gospel album, right?
The Jesus is King album?
Yeah.
What is the answer? Jesus. You live by the sword, you're going to die by that sword, all right? And remember that I am always with you until the end of time.
Who is that?
Kanye is always with you.
Do you think Kanye's going to be with you in the end of time?
He does have a classic album, but I won't say which one. Go ahead. What's the answer? Jesus! Jesus Christ. What's that next question?
Next question is, one day the light will shine through, and one day people will understand everything I ever did. Kanye?
One day the light will shine through, and one day people will understand everything I ever did.
Kanye. Who says Kanye? Who says Jesus? I think Kanye won on this one. Let's see.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Now this is the one that maybe y'all heard in the Bible.
Oof. I am the vine, you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Who says Jesus? Who says Kanye?
I don't know. Listen, I got the other one wrong, so let me do this one.
All right. Everybody thinks it's Jesus who said this. Yes, sir.
Jesucristo. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me.
Oof.
Jesus or Kanye?
Who says Jesus? Who says Kanye?
Trust in God and trust also in me.
I think they're kind of they're even out. People think it's
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus speaking in third person out here. What's the next one? I think we're almost there to the end. I am so credible and so influential and so relevant that I will change things.
Change things.
This sounds like the Sermon on the Mount. I don't know.
I will change these things. Who is that?
Kanye?
Okay.
That sounds like Kanye.
Everybody says Kanye. What's the answer? Kanye.
Jesus.
God blesses you when people mock you, lie about you, and say all sorts of evil things against you.
Oh. That sounds like one of Kanye rants, bro.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like on Sway in the morning.
God blesses you when people mock you, lie about you, say all sorts of evil things against you.
Yeah, man.
That was almost on beat. He said Jesus.
Who says Kanye? Raise your hand.
I said at this point we don't know anymore.
Who says Jesus? All right.
Go ahead, hit it. Jesus! Don't worry about tomorrow. Today's trouble is enough for today.
Today.
No te afliges por mañana. Come on now.
No te vas a afligir por mañana.
Ten cuidado vos.
Tené cuidado por ahí, vos.
That was Jesus.
Jesus.
And what's next? With great blessings comes great responsibility.
That sounds like a Spider-Man. That sounds like a Spider-Man quote, bro.
I don't know, bro.
With great power comes
I can
great
see
responsibility.
Jesus telling Peter this. You know, I'm going to build my church, and with great blessings come great
What
responsibility.
said Uncle Ben told that to Peter.
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Spider-Man?
Kanye.
Kanye.
What's the answer? Jesus.
Yes. Yo, I was kind of scared.
We got the last one coming up. All right, this one's the last one.
Whoa, I don't know.
What do y'all think?
I don't know
What do y'all
one,
think?
man.
I am a God.
I am a God.
I am a God.
I think Jesus would say,
Uh-huh.
I am God, not a God.
What do y'all think? Jesus? Kanye?
Is it Yes!
Jesus!
Dude, it's
Jesus is God, okay? Not a God. Woo!
Exactly. That's what gave it away.
Yo, I don't know, man. It was kind of like, I would say 70%, was like almost mixed. There was only a few of them and everybody was certain, but everyone was kind of on the fence for like, the most of it.
Well, I guess this guy's just very confident. Very confident.
Well, a lot of times we think about guys like Kanye West, right? And, he's very influential, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in music, whether it's in social platforms, through all the stuff that he does. He's been on TV shows. Right now, he's holding, I think, like some listening party in Atlanta for his new album. And, like, there's a bunch of people who have signed up to go listen to just hear his album. So he's a big person in the community. But we also know that Jesus was a huge influencer.
Yeah.
Ooh, we coming in deep there. Jesus was such a big influencer that we're still talking about him 2,000 years later.
Yes, sir.
Jesus was such a big influencer that he, literally defined our calendars from before Christ and after Christ. And we start learning about, how he influenced culture, how he influenced civilizations from so many times. Jesus was an influencer.
Dude, there isn't even like on like social studies books, you're always gonna hear, even if it might not be the all of the story about him, but you're going to hear something about Jesus. So
and I think that's huge to know that Jesus, he walked his calling the way God designed for him to walk it. And he influenced so many different ways, and he didn't care about the repercussions. He didn't care about the consequences. He didn't care about if he was going against the culture. He didn't care about cancel culture. He didn't care about, the narratives or he was going to offend somebody. He walked in what he was supposed to do. And because of that, we can still see that he is a huge part of our lives today.
Dude, it's crazy, man, because I feel like, we probably think about, okay, Jesus was this and that and all that. But, like, we don't really, I feel like we don't really think about the struggle and the pressure that he had, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if nowadays, we can kind of see some type of pressure to the church, right?
Yeah.
But this guy was, like, pretty much like going against everything that they were being taught. He was going not against a word, but he was coming in with this like new wave with some facts about how it needed to be done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel
and
like
confidence.
Yeah, I feel like the Pharisees from back in the day, they were very selfish, and they were looking more into their profits. They were looking more into like how good, like my position, my status. You know, if I'm good, if I'm eating, if I'm even though we're slaves at this time, but I'm still getting fed. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jesus kind of broke that and said, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You guys are supposed to help the ones that need help, the ones that need to understand who I am.
And there was repercussions.
Yeah,
you know,
there
my
was a
man's
lot of-
was, you know, put in front of high councils. He was put in front of big people and told that you can't do this, you can't say that. And, you know, at the end, he ended up dying, a very tragic death because of what he was doing in the culture at that time. Of course, we know that he resurrected in all this glory, and it was supposed to happen that way. But, you know, we see today where it's like sometimes influencers, guys like Kanye, have mental breakdowns because of the pressure that's on them, because so many people are criticizing, so many people are opinion, and some people, when you say, you know what, I'm going to be an influencer, I'm going to put my opinion out there, I'm going to talk about certain things, but we're not ready for the repercussions of what that may mean. We're not ready to have those conversations when people start asking us, but why? But why you? But what makes you think you're the right person to say that? What makes you think you're the person who's supposed to say that? And all of a sudden, that pressure can get to us, and we're wants to say, oh, I'm deleting all my apps, I'm turning off all my socials, I'm throwing away my phone, I'm done, I'm good. And we'll step away. But Jesus didn't care. My man's was up in the face of, the highest of, people and saying, you know what, this is the truth.
No, man, it's crazy because, dude, there's times that I be like watching someone like the reactment, like, they kind of do videos from like passages, and there's times that I kind of go into those videos and just kind of see if like visual, and it's just crazy, like, for him to go and tell all these high priests and tell them like, what you guys are doing is wrong, and also being wise about it. It wasn't that he was all hype. He backed it up, man. He backed up everything that he said. He backed it up, and it's crazy because they were always trying to catch him slipping. They were always trying to get him to say something wrong. They were always trying to have him say something controversial, so people can say, "You see, he's not saying the correct things." It's like even his miracles. A lot of those Pharisees were saying that it was like dark magic, that it was all this other stuff, and that's pretty crazy, man. Imagine seeing somebody that couldn't walk, and since they were born, and like out of nowhere, Jesus puts hands on these people, and they're able to walk, they're able to see. That's just crazy, man.
And I know a lot of times we think about it, well, like, duh, Jesus was God. Of course he was out there. It was no biggie. But Scripture tells us that Jesus was just like you and I. Jesus had feelings. Jesus had emotions. Jesus wept. Jesus got angry with his disciples when they were falling asleep. And my boy was praying at 3 a.m, and he's turning around and it's like, my man's over there snoring. And it shows that Jesus struggled through the same thoughts that we had, the same fears that we had. He had the same nerves that we had, but he knew that he was designed for something special. He knew that he had purpose, and he knew he had a calling that he had to live out.
And it's crazy because just like what you said right now, he had a calling, and he knew what the calling was. Just when he was praying, and he was scared before everything was gonna go down. Imagine that. He is God, but he's also human. But he was scared to face that the purpose why he was here in this earth. He had to go through that, and he, in his mind, he knew how it was gonna end, and the pain that he was gonna feel, the emotions that were just pouring out on him, and that's why he got upset with his disciples. They were like, "What are you guys doing? You guys are supposed to back me up. You guys are supposed to, be there for me, but you guys are sleeping." And I can imagine him, bro. It's like whenever, let's say, like, I don't know, let's say you go to work, right, and you have a job, and you have your workers there, and then they're just kind of playing around, they're just messing around, and you're just like, "Hey guys,
videos.
we gotta finish this job or something." You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. It just really makes you think, like, he was so worried, and his emotions, everything that he was going through. He was facing things that we face nowadays. But I feel like maybe a lot of people don't really relate to it because, one, they say, "Oh, that's back in the day. That's years ago." But what people don't understand is that even though it was back in those days, we're humans. We have the same emotions.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you fear something, you know, that's an emotion that I can feel, or like, let's say you can feel. Whenever you something happens to you, like you get hurt, that pain, it doesn't matter if it's you, me, or somebody else, you're gonna feel that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what people don't understand. It's like we're still humans. The human race. You know, we're meant to. We have all these emotions, and I feel like even though it's back in the day, we still live through a lot of the problems, even problems in society and stuff. We still go through that.
And I think it's super big because a lot of times we think like, oh, if my story doesn't look similar to that, if I'm not in a huge position like Jesus was, or like Kanye is, or anybody else, a lot of times we kind of, you know, limit or narrow down, or even sometimes like make it not a big deal, like what we do. And we're just like, my circle of influence, the friends I hang out with, ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody, that's not a big deal. And we're not influencing anybody. We just some boys here in Gwinnett or something, you know, and all of a sudden you're just like,
a couple good fellas.
you just like, my story isn't a big deal, so what does it matter? I don't have to worry about being an influencer. I don't got to worry about those things that you're talking about right now. Yeah. But God is calling us to be influencers in everything that we do. Whatever your relationships may be, whatever your friendships may be, wherever you are, there is purpose for your life. There is a calling that's put over you, and there's so much that you can do on your behalf to be an influencer and where you're at. It doesn't have to mean you have to post videos every single day on social media, but just being yourself, being who God has called you to be, will make such a huge difference in somebody else's life. And again, like Elvin was talking about earlier, you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking. You never know who you might be inspiring. But things that you say today, the things that you do today, are going to lead for others to follow your same footsteps.
Oh yeah, man. You know, even though you probably feel like, you know, I'm not really ready to take that challenge. You know, I'm not ready to be an influencer. I'm not ready to talk about you know, about church with my friends. That's not something I do. You know, that's just kind of weird. You're gonna have to really think about, you know, what you really want to do at that moment, because, you know, the main thing is, when we follow Christ, we're sacrificing, or we're getting rid of our desires, even though it's tough. And I think that's the toughest part, and that's why you know, yourself is the biggest enemy at times, because there's things that your body wants to do, that you have desires to do, but maybe that's not something that God wants you to do. And that's when the conflict starts happening. Yeah. Whether should I listen to God, or whether should I just
my own thing.
Keep doing my own thing. And the awesome thing is this, is that God, He's given us that free choice, the free will for you to do whatever you want.
Whether you're going to wake up today and wild out, or you're going to fall in God's plans for your life.
And the crazy thing is this, man, is that even though let's say if we choose to go our way, we choose to do our path, whenever your calling is so strong and you are going to make a big impact, you're going to end up where you need to end up. Mm-hmm. It's going to take longer. You're going to go through pain. You're going to go through all these struggles, but you're going to end up where God needs you to end up. Yeah. And that's just crazy. And that right there shows the love that God has for us. That even though at times we mess up, at times we're not perfect, He still says, you know what? I still want to use you on this, because I want to show you that I care about you, and that I can use you with all the insecurities that you have, and that you can impact others that feel just the way that you feel.
You may think that you can't, but I'm telling you, I designed you exactly for this.
Dude, I'm not lying, dude. Like, you know, when we started this whole GU thing, man, I mean, when Pastor came and I'm pretty sure you probably felt the same way, man. He's like, oh, you know.
I couldn't even hold the mic close to my mouth.
I know, you were like, hey, guys.
We're going to pray today.
But it's crazy, man. It's crazy because I remember when Pastor told me, I was like, man, who's going to listen to me, man? You know, who's going to, like, take the time to even hear what I have to say? Like, I'm not going to say nothing.
That boy from La Buford Highway.
Yeah, you know, Buford Highway, you know, what's up? Hey, Buford Highway's what's up, though. You know, but it's just things, you know, it's just, I think it's part of your growth. And even though whenever you feel insecure about something, just know that if it's something that you want to pursue, you know, it doesn't always have to be things about church. Like, you know, But if you have like plans, you know, for the ones that graduated and you guys are stepping up into like the real world and you guys are going into the workforce, you guys are going into college or whatever you guys decide to do, it's really important for you guys to really set goals for you guys to say, okay, you know, in 5 years, where do I want to be in 5 years? How can I get to that point in 5 years? Yeah. And it's going to be hard, man.
Make plans.
It's going to be hard, but
the big thing is be who God designed you to be wherever you're at. Whether it's up here on stage or whether you're out there at Burger King cashing out 5 customers, you know, on the drive-thru, whatever it may be, walk out in your calling. Whether you're delivering boxes in Amazon trucks and you're out there, you know, running to the front porch, tell somebody God bless you. Hey, have a good day. Have a nice day. Be influential in what you do, wherever you may be. And you're gonna see that God's gonna bless you through that, and He's gonna help you walk in your calling freely. It doesn't have to be on a stage. It doesn't have to be playing an instrument. You can do it in any other format, but don't limit yourself because of your fears, because of what you're scared of, or what it might cause. Let yourself flow in what God has designed you to do.
Yes, sir.
So tonight we're wrapping up, and we're super excited for everyone who's here. I hope this conversation has been beneficial. We're talking about influencers and being influenced, and I hope tonight that we can all take a piece and say, you know what? Let me not be so much influence, but let me also be an influencer. Let me know people, you know, let me share with people what I got inside. Let me share with people what God's doing inside of me and not be shy about it. Because you know what? Days are too short, time flies by, and what you're holding on today may not be so important, but what you're avoiding not to do or what God's asking of you, you're going to miss out a lot on what He can do right now.
All I'm saying is if y'all see me doing toy videos,
He says subscribe, like,
subscribe,
and then also
subscribe, guys.
Mind
subscribe.
Your business. Well, we're super excited. We thank you guys for tonight, and we hope that you guys have an awesome week.
Yes,
Re-energized. If you haven't seen all the episodes, you guys can check us out on YouTube, and then Hacienda GA, and also on Facebook.
And if you haven't seen our Season 1 conversations, go to Spotify, check us out, and you already know we got a sponsor. I left the Powerade. I'm so sorry, but Powerade is
We own no rights to Powerade or Coca-Cola.
Pass me that Powerade real quick. Pass me that Powerade real quick. Pass me that Powerade real quick.
She said no, fam. She's trying to protect you from the fines.
No, hold on. We're sponsored by Powerade. You already know.
We love you guys. Have an awesome week. Until next time. Wednesday Conversations.
Wednesday Talk. Peace.